Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Carbon Racing Series Season 5. And we're here at the Albert Park Circuit in Australia for round 3. It's a 3.2 mile circuit, or 5.2 kilometers, 14 turns after a few of them got lopped off between the 2019 and the 2022 seasons. Three hard compounds, 3 tyre compounds, hard, medium and soft. I wouldn't expect to see anything other than soft tyres in qualifying. Meanwhile, for the drivers' standings, Bradley Lienert leading the way, 50 points, 2 race wins in a row. Fakeaways and Quibus on equal points behind him, as well as Dan Edwin and Ivan on 18 points apiece. Ben Dixon and Leonard also on the same amount of points, 12 in this case. Constructors, currently it's Bradley doing all the work, which is allowing Fakeaways and Ivan to keep within touching distance, as well as Ferrari with Dan Edwin and Leonard. So, how will things pan out today? We should have... I don't know if we have a full grid. We might do. Let's turn the audio levels down a little bit. And there we go. Right. So, round 3. Oh, and the controller's being silly again. I believe we're loading in right now. Oh, phone. Shush. In fact, yes, we were loading in. So let's bring up the full track map. Lap data. And the first car out on track, it's going to be an Aston Martin. However, Dave is not too far behind. And which Aston Martin is that? I think it might be... It's Julian de Bowman, who has taken the place of Weiss Racing for this weekend. Or week, rather. Or maybe forever. Not entirely certain what's going on, but we'll see. And the other Aston Martin of Ben Dixon has just come out on track as well, followed closely by the AlphaTauri of Vaizijn Hetmar. And then we have Jacob Adamczak. Or Jakob? He's come out on intermediate tyres. Now we're just in Q1 here, so maybe he thinks he's going to be fast enough. He doesn't want to use his soft tyres when he thinks he doesn't need to. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Where are we? Quibus, the other Alfa Romeo, also coming out on intermediate tyres. So let's just take a look at this. Okay, so both of the Alfa Romeos on intermediate tyres, obviously aiming for a Q3 appearance, so they don't have to use as many soft tyres in Q1. Now, Dave is has just started his flying lap here. He won't be setting the benchmark, though. Yeah, he definitely won't be setting the benchmark, as he's just invalidated his lap time. So who was ahead? It was Julian. And Julian has lost a bit of time. So I don't know what happened with Julian, but he's not pushing. Vaizijn Hetmar, that was the other AlphaTauri having a bit of a moment through turn... I'm not sure which one it was. I guess technically turn 11 now. Vaizijn Hetmar, whilst we were looking at his teammate, has had a mishap of some description. Not sure what, but he was going slow through Sector 1 there, and he's obviously had to abort. So I'm not sure who is going to set a lap time first here. It might end up being the intermediate shod Alfa Romeo of Jacob Adamzad. Adamzad? Learn how to read. Jacob Adamzak goes wide, doesn't get his lap invalidated or deleted or whatever. Obviously, this isn't going to be a very representative lap time, as Julian does actually get a time on the board, but it is not representative. 1:25.1, which would probably have been somewhat representative if we were on the old layout. However, a good time around here is something like a 1:19, which is something that Jacob here is not going to be able to do. He does a 1:23.1. Quibus will be next, getting those intermediates out of the way. And where is this going to put him? That puts him into P1, 1:22.5. Meanwhile, there's a... Oh, it was a Williams I was looking for. Luke GDI has just put in a much more representative lap time, 1:18.3, followed by Jaden in the AlphaTauri, having a bit of a lag spike or something there. Yeah, something's... Ooh, that's very laggy. Faco, meanwhile, has just displaced Luke for P1 with a 1:18.224. His teammate Ivan has not got a lap time on the board, so either Ivan was providing a bit of a slipstream, or it must have been invalidated. Dan Edwin has gone P2. Leonard will come across the line now, but he's not had a representative lap. 1:30.3, so his lowest lap so far. Ben Dixon has just gone P4 with a 1:18.5. And we've got F1M Killer goes P6 with a 1:20.252. Currently, some drivers have not yet come out of the pits, which includes Well Done in the 13th placed McLaren. Rygen is out on the track at the minute, so we'll go look at him. Going through the former turn 9-10 section. Isn't really a corner anymore, it's more of a kink, but apparently that a kink is classified as a corner on the Austria circuit, the Red Bull Ring. Nicely through the former turns 11 and 12. Oh, they're now 9 and 10. Into the former turn 13, which is now turn 12 or 11. And into the penultimate corner, going a bit deep, as Leonard puts in the fastest lap of the session so far, 1:17.7. And Rygen is not going to do a 1:17, but they are going to do just over 1:19. So that puts them 6th fastest. Next up, it's going to be... No, it's not going to be Killer again. He's coming into the pits. Dave on an out lap. Visine Hetmar going for his first, well, another attempt. Trying to get a lap time on the board. Currently the only man on a flying lap here that we can tell. Possibly Luke GDI as well, actually, but that would have just started. The Aston Martin stays nice and out of the way as we get a yellow flag. That is the Aston Martin going slowly into 9 and 10. The chicane that has been tricky in previous games. Oh, and he loses it! And he's fortunate just to lose his front wing there. Still can be a tricky corner, that one. So that means it's going to be Luke GDI who will be the next one across the line. He's a 10th down through Sector 1. Manages to keep it on the track. Well, it was off the track, but he keeps it in a straight line. And coming through turn 12. And then 13. 5th gear right-hander, and Visor Hetmo has actually managed to crash. No, Okay, Luke's coming in. Oh no! So Luke GDI caught out completely by Vizon Hetmar, who understeered into the wall, and Luke GDI locks up out of just shock, I guess, and crashed in the same place. So that would be a closed pit lane for me. Right, anyone else on a flying lap here? Dave has lost his front wing, so he's not going to be flying along. Julian going for another attempt, but he's 6/10 down. Jacob Adamczak on a much faster lap, of course, as he is on soft tyres now. He and Quibus have switched out their inters for proper dry compounds. So Jacob, 2.5 seconds up. Faco has retired from the session. He's happy with his lap. And the Alfa Romeo should get into the 120s at least here. Could be actually, it's going to be a pretty fast lap, 1:17.736. So Jacob in contention for possible victory here. Not victory, pole position, depending. Though last week's winner, and currently the only winner this season, Bradley, it will be starting his flying lap momentarily, as Quibus now goes P3, 1:18.191. So Bradley starts his flying lap is now, and will ride on board with the Mercedes for now. Limp, well done. Okay, we'll just call you Limp then. As long as you're not a wimp. Ha 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 ha. Yes. Hopefully your favourite fast food is not wimpy. Okay, let's get over the silly jokes as we ride with Bradley. Did a 26.8, was that? Through sector 1. Heading down towards turn 9 and 10 now, through what is now a very long, isn't straight. Through turn 9 and 10 now. Manages to keep it on the road as he lifts a little bit to keep the car straight. Very nicely done. Didn't pull a Vizine Hetmar there. Takes quite a lot of inside curb on turn 12. Shifts abruptly down to turn 5, up to gear 6 again, before going back down to 3 and 4 actually, to go through the penultimate corner. 4 and 5th through the final corner, down towards the line. It's going to be a 1:17.8. So Bradley very much in contention for pole position here tonight, but as it stands, he's a 10th behind Lennart. Meanwhile, Limp is not doing a representative lap time here, the 1:40.7. So perhaps that was a warm-up lap of some description. Well, he should be going for it now. We'll ride with the McLaren until he hits the sector 1 marker. Just noticed a yellow flag. That was Bradley. I think he was just slowing down to let the Haas by. Oh, a bit of a moment for Limp there. That may have slowed him down a little bit. He's basically matched his sector 1 time there, and he immediately invalidates. His teammate has also invalidated. F1 Killer is about a third of a second up on his previous best. And the Haas should be improving at least into the 119s, unless he gets sector 3 all wrong. Doesn't look like it though. Car 71, I believe that's Devon Butler's number. And as you may know, Devon Butler, the antagonist of the F1 2019 and 2021 story modes. And Killer does go into the 119s, up to P11. Not at threat at the minute. Under threat, or whatever. Ivan hasn't got a representative lap time. 1:28.3. Dave, meanwhile, is not going particularly quickly. Or is he? I don't know if he's going to get a representative time here. Not if he's going that wide. Dave not going to be flying around on this lap, but does manage to get into the 119s. That does push him into P12. His teammate, Octavian23, doesn't have a lap time on the board. He invalidated it. Jaden Mulder through Sector 3. I don't think he has improved, I think, but it didn't move him up a bit, up the grid at all. Hangis moving across the line now on intermediates goes faster than Julian and Ivan, who both haven't been able to get representative lap times on the board just yet. Both cars starting to feel the pressure. They need to get out of the bottom 4. So I guess maybe technically the bottom 3, as Rizan, Hetmar and Luke GDI will not be going through. Even though Luke has a fast time, he should be going into Q2. 118.3 would make him P8 on this list, but for whatever reason the game decides that if you have a crash, then you don't belong in the following qualifying sessions, which is why short qualifying is better, in my opinion. I don't know why we keep using the full qualifying. As Octavian goes 120.161, moves up into P14, possibly at risk here. And Handress needs to get into the pits and switch out those intermediate tyres for soft tyres as quickly as he can, but he's going around again. Okay. You're not going to improve that much. And indeed, he doesn't improve. In fact, he's gone slower. Meanwhile, Mokrane, I neglected to mention, he performed an almost exactly 119 lap, but it's a 118.997, so he's currently 9th. Kind of anonymous, to be honest, Mr. Mokrane. Julian, 4.7 seconds up through Sector 2. This is going to be a marked improvement. And he goes P9, which leaves Ivan and Hangis in a rather tricky position. Hangis, because he hasn't come into the pits, when he's still on the wrong tyres. Ivan has invalidated again. He does have the energy at least, and he should hopefully have the fuel to go for one more attempt, but this is more than likely going to be his last attempt. He has to do a clean lap here or he is out of qualifying, which would be rather embarrassing because technically Luke GDI is ahead of him, which means Luke could technically get into Q2 here. So, into turn 3. Nicely does it, easily does it. You need to be nice and careful on the throttle, nice and careful with the steering inputs. You don't want to invalidate it all. Just need to get a decent lap in. Hangis is not going to improve. I think he's gone round again on the inters. I've no idea why he's doing that, but he's not going to get through. He's wasted his time. Should have come into the pits, mate. Ivan, a 10th down through Sector 1, but manages to keep it on the track. And Sector 2 should be much improved. In fact, he was actually 10th down through Sector 2, actually, I think. So, I'm not sure where he lost all that time. But it should be a lot faster. Still doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly great lap, but he does manage 118.4, goes P8, and he is safe. Raijin should also be safe. In fact, he has improved on his second sector, goes P10. Hangis, as we know, is not going to improve. He's 2 seconds down in Sector 2. So that more than likely means we're going to have 5 cars out of this session. Vizline Hetmar, who was unable to set a time. Hangis, who did set a time, but just steadfastly refused to go onto dry tyres. FA Octavian 23 also out. F1M Killer also out with a 1:19.6. And also out, despite having a 1:18.3, it's going to be Luke GDI because he crashed. So just waiting for Raijin. He's on his in-lap now. I would imagine he'll either just go straight across the line or come into the pits. It doesn't really matter. Though going into the pits actually takes longer, so just go across the line. And we'll move on to Q2 sooner rather than later. And he's coming in. Oh, there we go. He's come. He's bamboozled me. Maybe he's listening. But Ivan did come in. I didn't realise that Ivan was actually still driving around. I thought he had the checkered flag next to his name, so a bit irritating. But things should be coming to an end. Now? There we go. So, Lennart in the red and yellow, canary yellow Ferrari, takes P1 in Q1 by 9 thousandths of a second and effectively a tenth of a second over Bradley. Yeah, 9 thousandths of a second ahead of Jacob. The hell? I just heard someone talking very clearly into my ear. That was weird. Right, so moving on to Q2. Nice big gulp of water. 14 drivers. Unless one of them crashes, we should have only 4 drivers being knocked out, but you know, the game has been funny sometimes that we could still have 5 drivers knocked out, leaving us with a top 9, which would be slightly irritating. Let's pull up the lap data once again. As the first car out on track is Jacob Adamczak, trying to improve that 1:17.7 he did in the last session, and try and take P1 again. Now, of course, you do want to have that P1 at the end of the session where it counts. Also out on track, both of the Red Bulls, Faco and Ivan. The other Alfa Romeo of Quibus. Dave in the Alpine. Pardon me. Ben Dixon in the Aston Martin. Raijin in the McLaren. Jaden Mulder in the Alpha Tauri, or Alpha Tauri. If you say Alpha Tauri, it always reminds me of Stargate. Because in Stargate, the name for the human race was the Tauri. In fact, when this car was revealed earlier this year, it came out of a sort of ring-shaped portal that looked a lot like a Stargate. So maybe someone at Alpha Tauri was thinking, Alpha Tauri, it's like Stargate. Hey, a friend's tossed. I've got an idea on how we reveal the car for next year. Have it come out of a Stargate. And an unscheduled off-world activation. Close the iris. Good evening, Hanges. Why did you decide to stay out on the intermediates when you could have gone to the softs and tried to get a lap time in? That's what I want to know. anyway. Leonard on an out lap, so as we remember, the first car on a flying lap, and should be setting the benchmark here, is going to be Mr. Adam Zak. Ooh, that was a loud noise. That's the Ferrari in front slowing down, letting the Alfa Romeo past. Now, in real life, the Alfa Romeo has never really quite been close to pole, and it's quite clear that the car has either stopped being developed or it's been out-developed. It's not quite as fast as it used to be. But this is a video game and it maintains its speed, especially when it's on equal car performance. 1:18.4 is the time to beat. Quibus will be next, however he's invalidated. Also, everyone else seems to have invalidated as well. Raijin hasn't. Neither Faco or Bendixson have, however Faco has aborted his lap. So he'll be going for another attempt momentarily. Ivan has also aborted his lap. Bendixson has invalidated. Raijin has not invalidated. He should be getting a time on the board. We'll see where the McLaren can end up. Just a reserve driver. Okay. So Raijin has got a time on the board, but it's not representative either. 1:35.7. I did notice some yellow flags through Sector 2, but I wasn't sure what it was all about. Lennart then, coming through the third sector slightly onto the grass, doesn't spin or anything, so that was lucky. That beautiful F175 coming through the final corner, across the line. Actually, the margin's still so close. 7.5 or so hundredths behind Jakob Adamzak. Dan Edwin now goes fastest, 1:18.261. And we have, is that Julian? It is, but he's invalidated again. Everyone's invalidating. This is boring. Oh, Jaden, very close to invalidating there himself. Manages to keep it on the track through the final corner, but I think he's used up too much of his energy, so this isn't going to be a great lap time. Bendixson has actually taken P1, 1:18.0. However, I do think that there's some used tyre shenanigans going on. So Dan Edwin and Lennart probably using scrubbed tyres to have as many fresh sets in Q3 as possible. So on an out lap at the minute, the Mercedes of Bradley. Obviously, just on an out lap, he's behind. Well, not anymore. He's not behind the not Alfa Romeo, the Ferrari of, I think that's Lennart. Doesn't really matter. They're out of the way, coming into the pits, and Bradley starts his banker lap now. Into turn 1. Oh, very, very close to the edge there. Lucky not to invalidate. Into turn 3 now. The DRS slamming shut. And the car gripping the track. Fortunately, there's no, that long, awkward, evil sausage curb is no longer on the exit of turn 4. And the car... I don't know if that's it does go purple in Sector 1, but it's so hard to tell if that's a personal purple or just a in general purple. You never know these things. It's because this game, it doesn't always tell you things properly, and he went through Sector 2, we've got... Oh! Bradley goes off! Fortunately, though, manages to keep it going straight. Doesn't invalidate, but he's almost certainly going to abort, and yes, indeed, he has. We do have that yellow flag, that is Limp, who's had a spin at turn 15. On his out lap too, so that's going to compromise his flying lap as well. Ivan, last season's champion, going to start, well, is on his flying lap now. We've got a new driver start. Who is that? Pernicos? Don't know who that is. I don't think they're meant to be here, unless it's a reserve driver, I don't know. Ivan, try and keep it on the track. Don't invalidate. I did notice he came straight into the pits last time, I think. And he invalidates. Yeah, that corner keeps catching a lot of people out. Faco, however, ooh, that's also not going to be a great lap. 125 at the minute. So that's going to improve his 150, but in fact, he invalidated as well. Bradley just invalidated. So how come it invalidates you for going it invalidates you for going slightly off the track, but you'd go miles wide, extend and whatever, but it doesn't invalidate you? Like, yeah, Bradley's decided these tyres are gonna be not just scrubbed, but screwed. Let's come in, bolt on some new ones, and should go for another attempt. Ivan going for it again. Oh, bit of a wobble. Has to slam on the brakes to keep it out of the wall. Valtteri Bottas style. Mokrane also got an invalidation. 131.82, so that's not going to be a representative lap. Let's ride with Mokrane here. Doesn't pull a Bottas. And down into turn 3. Takes a bit of curb on the inside. Don't think you really need to take the curb anymore. In fact, he never really needed to take it in the first place. Oh, that's always a risky one to take the curb there at turn 5. Turn 6 and 7 and 8. And now down the isn't straight towards 9 and 10. Energy depleting by the second. And the Haas, oh, thought he was sliding, and he is sliding. That was on the edge of control for about half a second, and that is Mokrane's lap over and done with that. Julian, meanwhile, had a front row seat to that calamity. And now, hopefully, he doesn't give Mokrane a front row seat to one of his own. Faco slightly, basically matches his Sector 1 time. Sector 2 time should be better. No, it's matched again. Slightly slower. Possibly the same set of tyres. It's Sector 3 where it all counts. And manages to keep it on the track. And once again, on the track. That's very nice. And there should be a valid lap time here. Going to absolutely blitz his previous best of a 150.092. And Faco manages 118.3. There we go. He should be happy with that. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. I think it was just Leonard letting Bradley past. Bradley has invalidated again. Now, with the lap time he has at the minute, he can still get through, but it's getting a bit close. So he has to get a better lap time on the board, because if he doesn't, any one of these drivers behind him could improve, such as Limp here. Bradley could find himself out in Q2 here if he can't get a valid lap time on the board, and it just goes to show how much he is pushing. Limp very nicely gets a little wobble on the exit of turn 10, manages to keep it on the track. Didn't pull a Mokrane into turn 12. I think his teammate Rygen has pulled a Mokrane, possibly. He had to go slow. Ben Dixon currently, is no longer P1. Jacob Adamczak does take that honour from him at the death of the session, as does Quibus. both of them into the 117s. Lemp also looking like he's going to be into 118s for Lemp. Raijin now under threat. But he is on his lap here, and yeah, 135. He invalidated his previous lap time. Ivan also under threat, and he's going slowly. Quite slowly. Meanwhile, behind him is Lennart. Both of the Ferraris, actually. Lennart and Dan Edwin. Both of them going to try and improve their lap times. Presumably on reasonably fresh soft tyres, and indeed they are. Brand new soft tyres. And what can they do? Raijin invalidated again. He still has time to get round and finish. Well, start another lap. Julian in the Aston Martin now. Heading into the final two corners. He's managed to keep it on the track this time. Should be getting a valid lap time. Oh, get a bit of a tank slapper out of the final corner. Doesn't matter though, goes 189. Still at risk though, and he doesn't have the time to get round and start another lap unless he cuts some corners, I guess. Meanwhile, Dave, not sure if he's improved his lap time. In fact, he hasn't, no. Mokrain, invalid lap, should be fine. He's got another minute or so. He can get another attempt in. Ivan now does still have the time, I believe. Unfortunately, he's still got the yellow flag marker obfuscating the timer. If Ivan can't get a representative lap time in now, he has to go again, and he does manage to get a representative lap time, but it's only a 118.4. Meanwhile, Bradley did manage to do a 117.8, about a hundredth of a second behind Quibus, so he is safe. Mokrain has retired. He's crashed on the exit of turn 5. So Mokrain won't be going through. Ah, dear, Mokrain. That's unfortunate. Raijin, 12 seconds up through Sector 2. And he could he could actually knock Lennart out here. Lennart in P10, 118.4. I don't know what happened to Lennart there, but Raijin, if he can get a 118.480 on the board, he can knock Lennart out of Q2, but I'm not sure he can do that. Or can he? Oh no, he can't. In fact, he actually invalidated his previous lap. So I didn't catch that happening, but Raijin did not manage to get a valid lap time on the board there. So he's very lucky with that one. Jaden, not going to set a lap time here. Oh, same with Dan Edwin. Both going slowly. As we've got cars retiring. Left, right, and centre. Now just got to wait for the cars to file into the pits. There we go. Pardon me. And apparently we're just going to wait for the... No, okay. There we go. So, knocked out of the session... What?! What?! How?! Why did Bradley get knocked out? What?! 117.8. I guess because he retired on the track? Ah, that is ridiculous, man. Come on. So Bradley, who was in strong contention for pole position today, has been shafted by the game being stupid. Ah. Well, I told you that we ended up losing 5 drivers from Q2, despite the fact that only 4 were eligible to be knocked out. Because the game is stupid sometimes. So it's looking like pole position could be decided between... Ooh, that's odd. Between one of 3 drivers. Jacob Adamczak has been looking pretty strong so far. Also looking strong has been Quibus, who hasn't come out to the pits yet. And also, a decent threat for pole on any occasion, Leonard. This is quite the upset for Bradley. It's quite the upset for everyone, I think. But Leonard going to jump on that chance, try and take pole, and then hopefully get his first win of the season. Consistent championship challenger. He won season 1. He was... I don't remember where he was in season 2, possibly the runner-up. He was again runner-up in season 3, and again runner-up, or one of the runners-up, in season 4. So now he really wants that second championship. We've been talking about it for 2 whole seasons now. Obviously, we haven't had a double champion in CRS so far. 5 seasons since 2020. The beginning of 2020. Actually, no, it was the beginning of late 2020, early 2021. Leonard was our first champion. And aiming to become the first double champion. As he heads on to his flying lap now. The first of the session, and hopefully not his last. Into turn 1, cutting it close, through turn 2 as well. DRS wide open on the run down to turn 3, hard on the brakes. DRS closes, and you go into turn 4. Nicely does it. Into turn 4, actually. That was turn 3, actually. My mistake. Doesn't take any curb through turn 5, so he doesn't get spun by auto spin curbs or like you had in F1 Championship Edition back in 2006. The Ferrari now going through the former turn 9 and 10 section. Car going slowly ahead, possibly. It looked like it was just a McLaren. Into the former turns 11 and 12, which are now turns 9 and 10. And that's the Alfa Romeo going slowly. I think that is Jacob, who's had a bit of a mistake or something. So Leonard may be getting the benchmark here, although I think it's actually going to be Jaden, followed by Lemp, who is going slow enough for Leonard to have caught up. Jaden does get the banker benchmark on the board, 117.8, immediately smashed by Leonard, 117.1. Quibus, next one to be the threat, and he's still 0.5 of a second off of Leonard. Who else can get a time on the board? Who can challenge Leonard here? Ivan, decent shot for pole, but on this occasion, almost a second off, 0.8 off actually. Faco, much closer. Oh, actually not much closer. He's only 0.2 closer. Leonard looking imperious today. Meanwhile, we've had 2... well, 1 invalidation and 1 aborted lap. Actually, Jacob did invalidate. Okay. He's going for it again, though. 44.3 through Sector 2. Opens a DRS on the run down to turn 12. Hard on the brakes at the, what looked like the 50-meter mark. I don't think so, though. It must have been the 100-meter mark. Stays in 5th gear as he goes through the right-hander. Now into the penultimate corner and the final corner. Stays in 4th gear and hard on the accelerator down towards the finishing line. 0.113 away from Leonard. Jacob definitely in the mix for pole position. Oh, Dan Edwin though, not looking, trying to treat his prancing horse like a Swan Lake ballerina, or whatever it was. Ben Dixon, meanwhile, who was holding P1 through most of Q2, coming through the final corners now, though I think he's just going to come straight into the pits. Yeah, his battery is depleted. He's actually going to keep on to this lap attempt here. Not going to be the best. He's down below 10%, but he just needs to get a lap time on the board. 1:18.1, slowest representative time so far. Dan Edwin doesn't count, as he did have that spin at turn 10. Just gotta wait for all these cars to file into the pits now. We'll have a brief wait, I imagine, whilst people wait for the opportune time to come back out of the pits. Just one car left on track, that is Ben Dixon on his in-lap. Hopefully he will get a better time than a 1:18.1, as that is 2/10 off of Ivan, who is the next slowest driver. So, I reckon we've got about 2 minutes until we start seeing cars coming out again, but you never know, someone else could decide to get on the track whilst it's clear. But then that could invoke the flurry of activity at the end of the session. I heard someone laughing there. So currently, the times stand at Leonard in provisional pole position with a 1:17.180. Jacob Adamczak P2 with a 1:17.293. Then about 4/10 behind him is his teammate Quibus with a 1:17.686. Behind that is the first of the Red Bulls, Faco, with a 1:17.740. Behind that is the AlphaTauri of Jaden Mulder, 1:17.878. Limp in the McLaren, 1:17.904 as P6. Ivan, the reigning champion, and the other Red Bull, 1:17.912 in P7. Ben Dixon, 1:18.178 in P8, and Dan Edwin, unrepresented time in P9, 1:34.481, which would be lightning fast, I imagine, if it was Belgium or something, but around here it's not so quick. Coming out of the pits then is an AlphaTauri, a Red Bull, that is Faco, and actually the other Red Bull coming out as well, Ivan Hafterkamp, out into the pit lane. Let's ride with Faco for a little bit. Been a while since we rode on board with him. Former champion, of course, the Season 3 champion. Not looking quite as comfortable on this year's game. Then again, I don't think anyone is quite as comfortable on this year's game, though. Honestly, I'm a bit more comfortable. I think I've got over my little gremlins recently, as cars are coming out of the track now, filing out one by one. Who can put it on pole? Can Leonard maintain P1? Can Jacob Adamczak make it a Alfa Romeo upset? Or can one of the Red Bulls, Faco or Ivan Hafterkamp, manage to put it on pole in another sort of surprise upset? Well, Faco will be the first to cross the line on their final flying lap attempt. Faco does have a little bit of time, so if he does mess up this lap, he could get another lap in. He's got Jaden in the AlphaTauri to contend with. There's a bit of traffic. Oh, very close to invalidating that. Yellow flagged as Jaden gets out of the way. Ivan has just crossed the finishing line to start his final lap attempt as well. Faco through turn 5. Thought he was going sideways there for a second. Ooh, almost 2/10 up through sector 1. So look, decent lap at the minute as he heads down the isn't straight. The back straight, boys. Heading for it again. 3/10 up through sector 2. This is looking like it's going to be a very good lap. And those 3/10 should leave him at a potential 1:17.4. Whoa, very close to the white line there, or I guess the yellow line. And he should be safe. This should be a decent lap. Need to see what his sector 3 time is like and the lap time overall. Oh, that was close. So Faco's lap time here is going to be a 1:17.366. It's enough for P3. But it's not enough for P1. Ivan has lost a bit of time, but he has enough time to get another lap time in. A lap attempt even. So he will be going for another attempt. Limp is going to be the next across the line on the flying lap here. And just go P4, 1:17.366. He's actually matched Faco's time there. Dan Edwin does improve, but he can only manage P5, 1:17.651. Quibus moves up to P2. Leonard, slightly faster through Sector 2. He manages to improve his P1 time to a 1:17.047. But where is Jacob Adamczak? Crucially, he's also up through Sector 2. Not a huge amount, but this could be crucial. Where can Jacob put his Alfa Romeo? Looking very leisurely through Sector 3. Where can he go? He goes P1, 1:17 at dead. And Leonard is going to be absolutely fuming. Ivan, meanwhile, slightly faster through Sector 2. He's currently the slowest driver on the field. He's not had a great session here. He's definitely not looking comfortable around this track. Is Limp going for another attempt? I don't know. No, he can't. He's not going to improve. And Ivan does improve, but he's slowest of the session so far. 4 thousandths behind Ben Dixon. Yikes! It's a sort of Pierre Gasly situation for Ivan here. He's definitely not looking very comfortable this season. Yeah, I'm pretty sure reserve drivers can do quali. When I was a reserve driver, I was allowed to do quali, so... Anyway, yeah, there's your top 9. So the top 10 is Jacob Adamczak, Leonard, Quibus, Faco, Limp, Jaden, Dan Edwin, Ben Dixon, Ivan, and Bradley is P10. Right, just closing my window and turning a light on. Of course. Nudge the cable one little bit. And the controller decides, I'm controller number 2 now. Oh, pardon me. Yes. Controller number 2 of 1. It was also weird because the other day it went from 1 straight to 3. Controller 3 of 1.
The lap is underway here in Australia. The atmosphere around the circuit is electric, and the crowd are hoping for an exciting race from the drivers today.
Yes, thank you, Crofty. So that's all the tyres. Look at it. Almost everyone starting on the mediums. Meanwhile, Jacob, Quibus, and I need that information. Thank you very much.
They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race.
Shut up, Crofty.
Done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
Okay, won't give me the information anymore, but there were 3 drivers out of 19 starting on the hard tyres. That is just silly. How to look robotic without even trying. Have all the cars going single file and then darting off to each side. I think I might need to turn off Crofty. Okay, so here we go. 5 lights coming on. It's lights out and away we go. And Leonard, who is on the medium tyres, gets a much better launch than Adam, who speared into the side, and there's a massive crash on turn 1 already, and that is already Dan Edwin out of the session, and we may already have a safety car. Oh dear. Dan Edwin and Julian de Bowman make contact before the first corner. That is embarrassing. Looked like a lightning start for Julian there. Didn't quite catch what happened. But, yep. So, Leonard is left without a rear gunner. Dan Edwin, his race lasted all of 5 seconds. Very poor start for Jacob Adamczak, who started on the hard tyres, and don't think they were... Maybe they were too cold, I don't know, but he clearly had too much wheel spin, and he's lost not just P1, but P2 to his teammate as well. Any other position changes? Ooh, it's been a very bad start for Dave. He's lost 5 positions. Limp has lost 3 positions. Faco has managed to stay level. So let us just take a look at those tyres. And yes, so Limp started on the hards. He lost out. Jacob started on the hards, also lost out. Quibus started on the hards, but didn't lose out. In fact, he kind of managed to keep up. Oh, don't. Oh, that could have gone very, very poorly had Jaden not taken evasive action there. Dave, meanwhile, stopping for new tyres? Put on some new hard tyres. I don't think he was stopping for front wing there. Oh, what? Faco gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. Excuse me? Yeah, a little wheel wiggle out of frustration. He'll have to serve that penalty at the pit stops. So, annoying, but it's something you've just got to live with. Especially this early on in the race. Safety car will, I would imagine, come in the next lap if Dave can't catch up in time. Actually, yeah, Dave didn't start at the hard tyres. He started on the medium, so he did put them on for some reason. I don't know if he needed to. I didn't see him changing his wing there. Oh, chat. Stop rolling over. My phone charger cable, please. I need to look at this stuff. Okay, so Dave has caught up, but the safety car is not going to come in yet. So if it's... is it going to... No, it's not going to glitch. Okay, so... Yeah, the glitch I had once upon a time on F1 2018, we had the safety car at Silverstone on the last lap. It was coming in, and it decided that instead of ending at the proper time, it was going to end just as it passed the pit lane. So it took forever for the safety car to get back to the pit lane, by which time the rest of the field was at Maggots and Beckett's, going extremely slowly on extremely cold tyres. And of course those were the days where carcass temperature was actually on by default. You couldn't turn it off. I mean, carcass temperature was new in F1 2018, but they, for the first few months of F1 2018's life, you had to have carcass temperature on. It was mandatory. Ooh. What's going on with Jaden Mulder? Not sure what happened there. No idea why he just let everyone past. Safety car coming in. So Jaden now down 11 positions for some reason. Don't know why that happened. I can only assume he made a mistake. The game wouldn't really do that otherwise. Anyway, safety car coming in. The Ferrari looking a bit jittery there for a brief moment. Bernd Maylander will not be winning the race on this occasion. And Lennart will lead the field away on his medium tyres. And that's gorgeous red and yellow Ferrari. Holding the field up. Oh, and he's trying. That field definitely getting a bit bunched up, caught out a little bit, and Lennart goes just before the finish line. Faco taking a look up the outside of Jacob, but he has to go onto the grass. Oh, and that's Jacob going round, and that's also Faco going round. Are we going to get another safety car? I bloody hope not. So that's Faco's race open over. Quibus now the closest to potentially being able to challenge Lennart here, though Ivan not far behind the hard-shod Alfa Romeo. Also, someone who's made his way up the field a little bit, 4 positions, mainly due to crashes. Bradley now in P6, hoping for a 3rd race victory in a row. Ivan getting a bit closer to the Alfa Romeo, but he's not going to be able to make a move just yet, and the Alfa Romeo closes the door. Not going to be as grippy, but still can be a roadblock if it needs to be. And definitely, the Red Bull definitely looks a bit faster in a straight line here. Oh, bit of a tank slapper on the exit of 12 there, putting Ivan at risk from Ben Dixon, who is up in a pretty meteoric P4. Bradley has actually jumped limp for P5. So Bradley definitely getting the work done. DRS should be enabled. No, not this lap. The next one. So no DRS for the foreseeable future. Well, for 1 lap at least. Ivan having to stay behind Quibus for now. And you can see that Quibus just doesn't have the race pace compared to Lennart. He's already 2.5 seconds back. And it seems to be impacting Ivan somewhat as well. Ivan, if you remember, started P9, and he's already up in to P3. Now this could be Ivan's chance. He does have the straight line speed without the use of DRS or the energy. He's going to have the outside of turn 9, but he has to hold off. It's not really an overtaking place, that corner. Ben Dixon, though, looking very racy. Ivan darts to the inside, has the switchback maneuver, turns it into turn 12, but again loses position to Quibus, and who gets a bit argy-bargy there, And that we just saw Ben Dixon getting a bit of a slide through turn 12 as well. That's allowed Bradley past. And now Ivan, gets a snap of oversteer. That's going to allow Bradley past Ivan now. Quibus has been a very irritating roadblock to Ivan. And now he's going to lose out to Bradley here. That is very frustrating. I can imagine Ivan desperate, practically screaming at Quibus to get out of the way. And he just wouldn't. So now Bradley. Ooh, bit of a wobble there from Bradley. Keeps it on the track. We've got a safety car again. Why? Why? Where's the crash? There's no crash. Why is there a safety car come out? Uh-oh. So we've got a car, Luke GDI, who hasn't rejoined the race, going so slowly that Hangis and Visor and Hetmo got held up. Hangis going off the track. He's lost his front wing. Oh dear. So that's the only thing I can assume would have caused the safety car. Hangis losing his front wing. Leonard coming into the pits. So that's going to allow a few drivers past. Ivan also coming into the pits for hard tyres. I wonder if that's too early. Mokrain and Hangis also coming in. Hangis, we know, has to put on a new front wing. Mokrain just putting on new tyres. And Jacob also coming in again. He did have that front wing damage. He's putting on soft tyres, so he's going to have to stop again because of that. So this has promoted Quibus into the lead after Leonard pit for new tyres. Is that the Ferrari strategy from Leonard there? I don't know. I'm really not sure if Leonard made the right call there. Bradley now in P2, Ben Dixon in P3. I don't remember what Ben Dixon's previous best position was. I'm pretty sure he's never actually won a race. And to be honest, I don't think he's really contending for the win today, but you never know. Disasters could happen and Ben Dixon could take a surprise win today. Don't count on it though. He's a solid driver, but he's not solid enough. I guess he's like the bounty bar of drivers. Quite soft inside. I don't know why I was going with that. So safety cars should be coming in at the end of this lap. Jacob will be catching up on this lap. So lap 9, I imagine, is when racing will get back underway. Leonard has a bit of work to do. Let's take a look at the tyres. Brand new hard tyres versus 7-lap-old mediums and hards in front. I'm not sure if that was the right call, but maybe it will work. So Quibus on those hard tyres. He's had on since the beginning of the race. Ooh, green light on top of the Aston Martin safety car. Normally that means the lapped cars would be let past, but in this case, safety car in this lap. So Quibus now has a bit of a mountain of a task ahead of him. Trying to keep Bradley behind. He was able to keep Ivan behind, but can he keep Bradley behind? Bradley is a very quick driver. He's won both races of the season so far. Can he win another one? As the ungreat DJ Khaled would say. Another one. Another one. And another one. Backing up the pack. Quibus gonna wait until the moment that suits him best, which could be now if he wants, but he could wait until the start-finish line if he wanted. Which does look like... No, he goes now, but he gets wheel spin as he goes for it. He didn't plan that out very well, and Bradley could take P1 here. He has the inside, and Bradley does have P1. So Quibus has already failed in his attempts to keep Bradley behind, and now also under threat from Ben Dixon. And that does turn into the inside there for Ben Dixon, but he has to back off. Actually, Limp is going to be fighting with Ben Dixon here. Where is the Aston Martin there? There he is. Ben Dixon has to settle for P4. Oh, there's been a contact between him and the Alpine of Octavian, whilst the other Alpine of Dave has had a spin. So now Bradley is going to be taking off into the distance, very much how Lennart was doing when it was just Quibus behind. But Bradley has already made that gap. 1.3 seconds. Is Limp going to try up the inside? No. Can't do it just yet. Ivan and Lennart making up a position each, though. Ivan's still fighting with Visor and Hetmar. Jacobs had a spin. Where is Ivan? There's a bit of fighting going on for P9 and 10. And actually, Faco has made his way back up to the field somewhat. Oh! Visor and Hetmar, very aggressive defending there. And that's pushing Faco onto the grass again. Oh, we don't want Faco in the wall at turn 2 again. And that's Faco, not Faco, Visor and Hetmar being extremely aggressive. I wonder if he can see. Oh, there's been a bit of a incident for Mokrane there. Lennart has just got past Raijin. Oh, goes off the track though, and that's going to possibly allow Killer back past. He's dumping his energy, and that, yes, Killer is going to go for the overtake. Oh, bit of a lag spike. Oh no, there's contact behind! And that's Lennart onto the grass. I don't think he was involved, but Raijin down in P11, Lennart in P10. Disaster! Oh, and Raijin has outbraked himself, looks like twice. He's... I don't have the words. I don't have the words. He has absolutely collected Lennart and ruined Lennart's race. And Lennart actually coming into the pits. He could have some damage here. Oh, and Dave crashed on the exit of turn 15 as well. Nope, Lennart was just putting on some new tyres. I have no words. Well, Ben Dixon gonna try and get past Quibus. We're looking at a very strange podium here, except for Bradley, who I think is going to take the win now. With Lennart, his race being ruined by a McLaren. Lennart is not really a factor in this race anymore. Ben Dixon gets into P2 as Dave has another spin. And now Quibus under threat from Limp. So we're looking at potentially an Aston Martin on the podium here. However, we do have Ivan to consider. He's in P6 now, gradually making his way back up the field. And Faco did manage to get ahead of Vizar and Hetmar in the end. Am I being told to check Discord? I'm not sure. But I can't check Discord whilst I'm streaming. So Ivan's hard tyres don't seem to be, even though they're newer than Jaden's, they don't seem to be faring quite as well as he would like. He's losing time through some of these corners. Guess it doesn't help that Jaden's cutting the corners there. Well, pushing his luck with the corners, more like. Oh, Dave has retired. He's done so in the pits. What is going on with Lennart? He's pit for new tyres again. Yeah, Lennart's race is over. What an absolute shame. He's gone from basically pole sitter to in contention for the race victory to now being dead last. I have no words for that. Anyway, let's try and figure out who is most likely to make an overtake here. Jaden's still within a second of Ivan, who has at least made up some time on the car in front, which is the Alpine of Octavian 23. And Ivan sort of providing a bit of a tow for Jaden here, dragging him along, rather unintentionally though. Jaden does definitely look like the faster car around here. So now this is allowing Faco to catch up somewhat. Ooh, not looking too handy through turn 6 or 7 or whatever it was. Jaden, using his energy, he's going to go up the outside. And yeah, he's going to try and take the position from Ivan here, and he does. So even though Ivan is on newer tyres, that is actually... Okay, neither driver has the DRS, which is odd. The only way I can imagine that would be happening would be going neck and neck over the DRS detection line. Ivan does get back ahead of the AlphaTauri, but currently it's a AlphaTauri sandwich with the Red Bull as the bread. Okay, looks like Jaden is going to try and get past Ivan again, and he does so nicely before turn 1. And he'll get the DRS again down to turn 3. So it gets 2 tastes of the DRS. I've forgotten what the term is. Of the chicken? Okay, so Dave had rear wing damage. Probably as he spun after... From when he spun, actually. Spun, hit the wall with his rear wing, and that was it. Jaden flying along even though he's on older tyres, but then again these tyres of the cars behind not that much newer actually. Lennart now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:21.328. Ooh, and look who's ahead of Jaden. Octavian has lost a lot of pace. Pretty sure that's his medium tyres falling off the cliff somewhat. So I'll ride with Jaden here, see if... Oh no, the Alpine comes into the pits. Oh, it's a bit of a tank slapper for Ivan there. Snapper oversteer. 2 Red Bulls. Oh, yellow flag. That is Lennart. And Lennart, he's managed to keep it out of the wall. I think he just got into the gravel trap and spun. Okay. Oh, and Jacob Adam Jack also had a spin yet again at turn 10. And Limp. P4. P4. I think that's P4 still. Right behind Quibus. Taking a bit of the curb in the runoff on the inside of both 9 and 10. Now, where can Limp... Can he get his McLaren onto the podium? He should be able to. He does have the DRS for this lap. Quibus is staying out. Now gets the DRS. He's using his energy as well. But the McLaren does not looking as fast as the... Oh, what's it called? The Alfa Romeo. The two Red Bulls also not able to make ground on Jaden there. Once again, Limp not managing to get past. Faco actually gaining time on Ivan here. So maybe the two Red Bulls would want to switch around. I imagine they would be in communication with each other. And Faco could be saying, well, Ivan, I feel I can go faster. Could you let me past and maybe I can attack Jaden here? Maybe they would do it into the final corner? Turning into a bit of a snooze fest at the minute. As the gaps are growing and there's not really many fights. There's two fights, really. The one here between Quibus and Limp. And the one between Jaden, Ivan and Faco. Oh, going a bit deep into penultimate corner for Limp there. And he's lost a little bit of time. He's using the energy again. Got the DRS, but he's still not quite making the time on Quibus as he might like. Oh, another yellow flag. That's Jacob again, and that's put him down into 16th and last. And once again, Limp has to hold off for now, though Quibus didn't have the best of turn 3s there. Pfizer and Hetmar comes into the pits. Jacob Adamczak has retired from the session. He's had a crash. And we have a safety car. So I wonder how this could change things. Oh, that is a very unusual place to crash. So Jacob started P1. The pole sitter had an ignominious start of the race, and it's turned into disappointment and a race to forget. Oh! And Faco gets a ridiculous 5-second penalty for bumping into his teammate, and he loses his front wing as well. That is not good. Bradley has actually pit as well, so I didn't notice that. So... Ooh. Because these cars were behind Bradley, they could jump Bradley in the pits. Bradley made his pit stop at racing speed. Bit of a slow stop for Ben Dixon. Ben Dixon is going to take provisional lead of the race. Ivan is actually in the lead, but his tyres are a bit shot. So Ben Dixon is your effective race leader today, right now, with 11 laps to go. Or is that 12 laps? Yeah. Also pitting Faco for his new front wing. He lost a lot of time. Mokrain also putting on new wing. Hangis possibly also a new wing. He's just stopped there. Maybe he's trying to retire? Something's going on for Hangis here. I don't know what is happening. So this could allow Leonard to get back into some sort of contention, at least for some points, though he's not coming in for new tyres. Stays on the 9-lap-old hards. Mokrain. But, oh, no, not lapped. Just, game being stupid. He's behind his teammate, Killer. Ooh. So I don't imagine that Ivan is going to be able to keep the lead here for very long. He's on scrubbed hard tyres. They're not going to last very long. He's got Ben Dixon on fresh hard tyres behind him, but Quibus, crucially, on fresh mediums. So Quibus could be quite quick here. Bradley, though, is going to be quick, even though he's on hard tyres. Limp, also probably going to be quite quick. Jason might also be quite quick, apparently. Yeah, he is on mediums. Octavian on slightly used hards. Faco on slightly used mediums. Killer on slightly used hards. Mokrane and Hangis and Visor and Hetmar on fresh softs even. Don't think those tyres could last for the whole remainder of this race. Leonard stays out. Still racing too. We're going to be waiting a little while. We've got... yeah, we've got some... come on. Leaderboard salad going on. Getting confused as to where the drivers actually are. Ben Dixon have to see what he can do on the restart. Can he overtake Ivan? Being in P1 is not a mystery to Ivan, but for Ben Dixon, it's definitely not something he's been in a lot before. At least in multiplayer. Maybe he has, in fact, I'm certain he's been in the lead in single player. Everyone likes to be in the lead in single player, but when you're online, it's a whole different kettle of fish. We should get, I imagine, 9 or 10 laps of racing. Safety car will be coming in at the end of lap 20, almost certainly. Just got to wait long enough. And just coming into the pits again? For new soft tyres again. Okay. Don't know why. He has to catch back up to the field again. Hangis, what are you doing? If you don't catch up to the field, the race won't get back underway on lap 21. Just go. We'll have to wait another lap if you don't stop dawdling. Come on. There we go. There's some pace now. Right, there we go. Safety car is coming in this lap. Ivan will lead the pack away, but he is on pretty old, hard tyres. Everyone else behind him is on much fresher rubber. Can Ivan keep them behind? Or will he lose the lead practically immediately like Quibus did? We shall see in just a few moments' time. Weaving, trying to get some heat into his tyres. Let's take a brief look at penalties whilst we're at it. Penalties. Raijin has a drive-through for some reason. Hangis has 3 seconds of penalties. Mokrane also 3 seconds of penalties. Which is rather bizarre considering that there was a million different track limit invalidations in qualifying. Here we go. Ivan guns it now. And Ben Dixon has been caught out off guard, and he could be about to be overtaken by the Alfa Romeo of Quibus. He has the inside of turn 1. Bradley manages to get past, but that's pushed. Oh, there's been a crash. Jaden has gone off the the road at turn 2. He's managed to keep it going. Let's take a brief look. Did he have damage? Octavian gets a 3-second penalty. Okay, so there is no obvious damage to the AlphaTauri, so he should be fine, but he's down in last place. And Ivan Hafterkamp managing to hold on. Ben Dixon now hounding the Red Bull, but he does have that Mercedes not far behind. Bradley desperate for a 3rd win in a row. Who is going to get it? Is it going to be Ivan getting his first win since Season 4? Is it Ben Dixon going to get his first win ever? Or is it going to be Bradley getting his 3rd win of the season? His first win since last week. And definitely Ben Dixon does have more pace than Ivan does. You can see his difference in grip through the corners. Ivan just... oh no, he's not going to do it! Ben Dixon using the energy. This is going to turn into Ben Dixon in the lead unless Ivan has better straight line speed. Indeed, Ivan does have better straight line speed. Just about. But Ben Dixon tasting the... he can basically taste the champagne already. He's going to try and go around the outside of turn 2. 3 even. He's not going to be able to hold on this occasion. Bradley getting closer. Bradley also on hard tyres, they're fresher rubber. Oh, Faco gets another 3-second penalty. That's disaster for Faco, who started P4 and he... oh, God. Leonard's pitting again, so he immediately knew that he had made a mistake. Like Ben Dixon losing P2 to Bradley. I guess it was inevitable. But Ben Dixon wasn't able to make the move on Ivan, and Bradley just breezes past Ivan like he's just standing still. You'd think Ivan was driving a bus. Ben Dixon might have dirty tyres. He's not looking like he's got a lot of grip through the corners all of a sudden. So I reckon he might have gone off track or onto the marbles. We've got a yellow flag. Vizine Hetmar has spun at turn 12, as has FA Octavian 23. Vizine Hetmar takes P12. Like, thank you very much. Jaden Mulder gets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 120.644. And Ivan now under threat from Ben Dixon. They're going side by side into turn 3. Ben Dixon's finally had enough. He's like, get out of my way. But no, Ivan still has it where it counts, but it goes off at turn 5, and that has finally allowed Ben Dixon into the lead, and that's actually allowed Limp into P3. So that is how the podium was before the safety car. More or less, actually, Quibus is actually down a few positions. So it's not gone well for Ivan. He did try to hold on, but it was the same as it was with Charles Leclerc in Great Britain at Silverstone and Hamilton in the Netherlands. Old tyres don't tend to last very well in safety car restart conditions. You always want to try and get something new on unless your opponents have also switched on, stayed out on the old tyres. Vizine Hetmar has effectively retired from the session. He's left. Ben Dixon has lost P2 to Limp. And not really hard to see why, because Limp is on medium tyres. Could we still have a surprise new winner? Limp on new medium tyres could go faster. Oh, Raijin has crashed at turn... safety car.
Well, that's just sapped all the fun out of this.
Lennox into the pits again. I mean, he's put on new soft tyres. The most he can really hope for is a fastest lap now, but that's not even going to give him anything. I mean, maybe he can make some ground up the field, but I don't know if there's enough time for the field to be bunched up. Ivan can't pit. He has to try and stay out on these old hard tyres. Oh, he just juked Quibus into the pits, though. So, do whatever he doesn't do. And Quibus has decided he's going into the pits. Is he going to put on a new front wing? He is! Oh, that's going to destroy Quibus's race. Though there are a couple of drivers behind him also pitting, including Mockrain, but he's just putting on new tyres. Though still comes out behind Quibus. What? And just why you spent? Okay, it's just the game lagging. Never mind. Well, and Han just has already retired? Don't tell me he crashed. Where's Han just? He crashed. Oh. And yes. Well, I think the race has to get underway again at some point, regardless of how many laps are left remaining. How could these things pan out? 27. It's possible the race could get back underway on lap 27, maybe 28, definitely not 29. We should get at least 2 laps of racing left in the race, but it's pretty obvious who's going to win. Bradley is started P10 after a very ridiculous, I don't know, glitch, I guess. He set a time good enough for P3 and yet got relegated from Q2 for no real reason. And he's just made his way up the field, making no mistakes where everyone else has been. Bradley, have you tried to join up to esports maybe? I think they would like you there. You're just showing everyone else in this lobby that you're that
we're just trash or something. I accidentally what? I accidentally ailed for a sec and didn't take control properly. I don't know what you mean by ailed. AI'd, okay. AI'd for a second, didn't control properly. Points were in the pocket.
So you became an AI? Your robot brain took over?
I am the Terminator.
Are you Sarah Connor? Oh wait, not that kind of AI. Anyway, bit of a traffic jam going on. Visor and Hetmar's car proving Hetmar not being a particularly sporting person by leaving before the race is done. Now, we could still get a surprise winner here, as Limp is on these medium tyres. They should be grippier than the hards, as Leonard gets a penalty for ignoring yellow flags, which is ridiculous. But I don't know. It's not his fault that the AI is going really, really slowly.
Yeah, it's like Charles Leclerc. I am stupid.
I am stupid. I switch off everything as Bradley goes for it for the final 1, 2, 3 laps of racing. Bradley trying to break the toe. Ivan in P4, but I can't see how he can keep that position. Faco right behind him in P5, so we could still see a Red Bull in P4. Limp, well done, goes around the outside. Is that... No, he gets forced off the track by Bradley. That is not sporting by the Mercedes. Bradley obviously desperate for the win. Limp also trying to get the win here. He does have the tyres. Ivan has spun. And it goes from bad to worse for the Red Bull driver. Absolute disaster. Leonard up into P6, but with that stupid penalty, he might lose everything. Look at Limp. He is absolutely flying here. He could take the win from Bradley here. He has the softer tyres, but I don't know how much grip they have compared to the hards. Going nicely through turn 12, 13, 14, 15 to come. Can he get past Bradley in the Mercedes? Well, if Bradley's going to have wobbles like that, he can well get past Bradley using his energy. Limp using his energy. He has to hold on to P2 for now. It's Ben Dixon looking like he could lose. In fact, he is losing. P3 to Quibus. Quibus on the soft tyres. He's going to be flying compared to the guys in front. So we could still see an Alfa Romeo victory here. We'll watch the race from this perspective. Limp obviously going to try and get past Bradley. Both of these drivers have got to be feeling the heat as the soft shod Alfa Romeo behind. He isn't quite as quick in a straight line though. He has the slipstream, the toe, but he just doesn't have the straight line speed. Maybe he had to use a bit of energy there. This is gonna be close as Ivan picks up a time penalty. Not that it's gonna matter. And Quibus. Oh, this is gonna be quite tight as we're going to heading on to the final lap. Basically now. Final corner of lap 28. Quibus right behind Limp here. DRS is enabled, but it's too late for that. And it's just the lack of DRS has really inhibited the racing we've been able to see here. These two drivers in front using their energy as best they can, whilst Quibus is not. Bradley just has to lead for about 10 more corners. And with Limp getting wobbles like that, he can hold on forever. This could have been a very good race. Quibus not using his energy either. Faco actually under threat from Leonard, who is on brand new, well, fairly new soft tyres. Quibus is going to make the move. He's got, both drivers have the DRS. Bradley's still going to win here. Quibus is going to go up the inside of Limp here. He's going to take P2. There's a bit of wheel banging. Bradley's lead is safe. Mokrane crashes on the last lap. Bradley holds on to P1, but Quibus manages to get onto the second step of the rostrum. Bradley wins in Australia, followed by Quibus and Limp to make up the podium places. Ben Dixon can only manage P4. Even Faco manages to become P5. Leonard in P6. Killer P7. Octavian P8. Luke GDI, even though he wasn't actually racing, he's just been his AI all day, comes P9. Jaden Mulder manages to come P10. And I think Ivan did manage to snatch the fastest lap at the end there. But it's been a bit of a dreadful race for Ivan and Leonard. At least Leonard does walk away with points, but he's going to lose places in the championship there. So it wasn't looking likely at the beginning of the race, but Bradley takes his third win on the trot. That's 75 points for the Mercedes driver. He was shafted in qualifying, manages to take it all in the race where it matters. And in the end, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 retirements. Bahrain right at the death of the session. Han just a few laps before. Vajan also some time before. Yeah. So Bradley, at the minute, unstoppable, and I need to take a look at the standings and see where everyone was. So I shall do that right now. Right, so standings. As it stands, Faco is going to actually be relegated to P3. Quibus is going to take P2 in the standings. Bradley is going to extend his lead to 75 points. That, as in, he has 75 points, not that his lead to P2 is 75 points. Being the one-man army he is, as he didn't have a teammate today, Bradley will extend Mercedes' lead in the Constructors' Championship to 75 points, whilst Red Bull Racing fade away a little bit, can only manage P5, so they now have 50 points. You know, ragged weekend for Ferrari, which means Alfa Romeo would have caught up a bit. Same with Aston Martin, if not by a huge amount. Dan Edwin and Ivan will stay on 18 points. Ben Dixon, I think, will overtake them. In fact, I think has overtaken them. So Ben Dixon, I think, is P4 in the championship now. Didn't think I'd hear that ever. Right. Okay, I got old Crofty to shut up. I don't know why you made a clip of that. Okay. Okay, well, I will not be doing race interviews today, as I have other arrangements to do after the stream ends, but, there we go. That is the end of the Australia round. We shall see you next week on the 21st of September for the Imola Grand Prix. We shall see you then. Until next time, take care, have a good one, and good night.